All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are coming to talk about why your child who is 18 years old and going off to college should have estate planning documents. So, a lot of people think that estate planning is specifically for older people or for people with children, but the reality is that once a person becomes an adult, they technically have their own estate. And so there are specific things that you want to make sure that you have for your 18-year-old who is now leaving to go to college, or just 18 and going into the working world or no longer at home, to make sure that in the event something happens to them, that they have documents in place to ensure that someone is able to either care for their finances, make medical decisions for them, or worst case scenario, if something tragic happens, handle their estate. So I know a lot of people think that estate planning is about what you have, but it's not about what you have. It's about who you're leaving behind and what you need to do to plan to make sure that that process is seamless for those family members. So the reality is, once your child becomes 18, they are an adult. And so if something happens to them and they are in the hospital, and you may need an advanced healthcare directive to make medical decisions for them, if they have financial affairs that need to be taken care of, like paying their rent, if things are in their name, they have bank accounts that the parents are not connected to, and something happens to them, then you may need a power of attorney to prepare and access their finances. So it's very important to understand that once your child becomes an adult, they are an adult. And so you need to make sure that you have the proper paperwork in place in order to assist and make any type of healthcare and financial decisions on their behalf. So my recommendation for any parent who has an 18-year-old who is now entering the workforce, the world, college on their own, make sure they have, at the minimum, an advanced healthcare directive and a power of attorney. And they also should have some type of will, just because, life is not expected for anyone, and so things can happen even when we're young, and so we want to make sure that they have some type of protection in place. So if they're headed off to college or already there and they don't have those documents, contact our firm today. Have a good one.